Now let's even dive more into type, discovering more advanced topics. Here we have a business card. It's 9 centimeters by 5 centimeters, and resolution is 300 ppi. If we press Alt Command I, gonna be checking that we have width at 9, height at 5. If you'd like to use inches, you can be selecting them from here, and resolution will be 300 for printing. And of course our document mode is CMYK. You can be selecting your CMYK mode while you're creating your document, pressing OK. To be honest with you, Photoshop is not the best application for creating business card, while its Adobe Illustrator is the best application for creating business card, letterhead, and all these corporate identity elements. However, it's almost the same concept and same tools. And of course, you can be designing your business card in Photoshop. However, you have more powerful tools in Illustrator, and it's also easier. However, now we're going to be discussing font sizes. So here we have name, and if we select our type tool, checking name size, we have that one at 12 point, which is more than enough within a business card. As you can see, guys, you will find fonts are bigger in smaller sizes because we are at 100%. While if you're working in A3 file size or A4, you will feel that this font is smaller font. So basically in business card, you can be going all the way starting from 7 points to probably 12 or 13 or maybe 14. That will be quite too much. Then we have the title. We can be selecting that one, double clicking our director on thumbnail area, and we have that one at 9 points, and it's also in line type. Then we have type area, including these details in here, and they are in 7-point size. And as we hover over these digits in here, we can see that we have different shapes for 0, and these are alternates for characters and digits, and we can be accessing them through glyphs panel. So let's maybe double click name again, and hovering over these letters, we have alternates as well for O, and we can discover even more by clicking that one, which is opening glyphs panel. You can be accessing the same panel from type, panels, glyphs panel, or from window as well. You can find glyphs in here. So from here we can be adding alternates for selection, which is O letter at that case, or we can be selecting entire font or specific parts within the font, like currency, numbers, symbols. So let's select entire font so you can imagine how it looks like. Here we have all these glyphs for Myriad Pro font. Of course, we can be changing font from here as well. So let's move our cursor to end of line, and let's look for any shape in here. Let's maybe say we need to add that registered sign. We can be double clicking that one, and it will be added to our line. So that's basically how you can be adding all these special characters by selecting them from glyphs panel, and same as well for special letters. So maybe let's change that S shape within that font. You can be looking for other shapes or maybe other languages as well. So let's say you would like to add that one, you can be double clicking, it will be changed like that. Now moving to another part within our type, collapsing that one. Here you can see that option in here, including sharp, crisp, strong. Well, basically, if you are a graphic designer, don't worry about these, because these are mainly for web designers and maybe app designers as well, and only for mockup presentations. So let's say you're building your web design within Adobe Photoshop and you want to present it within some shape, you can be selecting any option from these for anti-alias and mainly for smaller fonts. So let's maybe select that layer, including details, and I'm gonna be selecting, instead of sharp, maybe crisp. And there's no much difference in here. Strong is bolder, as you can see, and we have smooth, and this only for presentation purpose, guys. As if you're web designing, the browser will be taking care of that, but maybe you need to be selecting that for better presentation for your font. So this is mainly how you want to present your font. Now moving to variable fonts and also SVG fonts. selecting name once again, going to font selector, and instead of selecting Media Pro, gonna be selecting Acumen variable concept because we have open type var, which stands for variable font. So let's apply that one and see what's unique about variable fonts. Now we have lost that registration mark from our name because each and every font will be having different glyphs and special characters. So what's really cool about that font that we have those three sliders in here where we can be controlling weight, width, and slant. Now instead of selecting bold or semi-bold or light or regular, we can be changing weight from here to make it lighter. And we have too many variables as you can see. So this could be similar to regular in any normal font. However, you don't have like 4 options, you have too many options where you can be controlling how thin you would like to have your font. Maybe that thin, or that wide, or bold, or maybe something in between. And also we can be condensing our font, so we have width, sliding that one all the way to here to reduce each and every character's width. And we have slant option where we can make it italic or semi-italic like that. And also you can still select from here for all these variables where you can be selecting wide, wide light, bold, and all these options in here. Even we have more. All these options are included within that font, so you can imagine how variable is that font. Now moving to another type of fonts, selecting our font selector, where we have SVG font, and that one, as you can see, can be including emojis or icons in vector form or shapes, and they are covered more in detail in Illustrator course. Moving to our last and final trick in that video, selecting that file. Now let's say you are searching online for inspirations and you find some nice fonts, however you don't know their names. Photoshop can be helping you find these fonts and use them within your design. So let's see how we can do that. Here we have that image including those 5 fonts in here, or 4 fonts, 5, yeah. And it's an image, and we have that layer including type, that type, and it's including carry display. I typed that font name in here. And by the way guys, all of them are Typekit fonts or Adobe fonts, and I'm using that image so it can be easy for you guys to understand, and you will see in a second why I used those Typekit fonts. So now let's say maybe you need to be downloading that carry display font, or even that one. We can be selecting our selection tool, drawing a rectangle. Shouldn't be on the same layer of your image, so we have that type layer and we have our background. However, let's keep that layer on as a reference for us. Now let's go to type, selecting match font. Now Photoshop will be recognizing that font and searching for similar fonts either on your PC or from fonts available on Typekit or Adobe's font website. And that's why I used that image in here. All these fonts are Adobe's fonts, so if we search them we will be finding them, okay? So you can easily get how it works. If it's not a Typekit font, then Adobe will be suggesting fonts that are similar to that one, maybe in classification and shape as well. While in that case, I also downloaded that font on PC, so you can see it in action when I click on it. So clicking on Carry Display Pro Regular, and it's of course matching that font. However, these fonts in here are on Typekit, so if I click on them, they will not be displayed on our type layer. In order to see them, we have to be syncing them on our PC, then select them. So let's maybe select that April font, double clicking that font, double clicking that font. Now it's already installed and applied on type, so we can see April fat face, and that's how it looks like on our type layer. So as you can see, using that feature can be saving you so much time. Instead of searching for similar fonts and comparing them, you can be typing the same word in a separate layer and start matching fonts within Adobe Photoshop. So anyways, that's it for those tips and tricks. Hope you enjoyed them, and I'll be seeing you in next one.